What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? Welcome to the PT channel. I'm One Eye Bright. You don't know if I'm winking or I'm blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about The Walking Dead. And in this video, we're going to talk about the Whispers and the back half of Season 9 of The Walking Dead. So obviously, spoiler warning for The Walking Dead comics, The Walking Dead TV show, The Walking Dead Whispers, a bunch of different things. Spoiler warning. I don't want to ruin anything for you because we're going to talk about a couple things. And if you're not up to date with the show, the comic and all that stuff, I don't want to ruin it for you. But I'm very excited about the back half of Season 9, and we'll see which members of our Walking Dead family stay alive for Season 10. And if you can, guys, show us some love by hitting that subscribe button and joining our Walking Dead family here at the PT channel. A photo credit and info credit to these fine folks right here, and giving credit where credit is due. Now, issue 144 is what we're going to talk about of the comics for The Walking Dead, also the television show, the back half of Season 9. Now, I believe that the big events in issue 144 of The Walking Dead comics will come to the television show probably in the Season 9 finale. Maybe episode 15 and 16, but definitely episode 16. I believe we'll see the big event that occurs in issue 144 where there is a Pike lineup. The Whispers kill 12 characters from several different communities, and here are the characters that die in the comic. Olivia, Josh, Carson, Erin, Ken, Amber, Larry, Oscar, Tammy, Luke, Rosita, and Ezekiel. Yes, Rosita and Ezekiel die in the comics in a big way. And a lot of people are asking me for my predictions. Who do I think is going to die by the Whispers with the Pike decapitation lineup? And the big question, who will it be? And if you see this list, some of the characters are already dead, but some are still alive. I believe the big three will be fine. Michonne, Carol, and Daryl will be alive. I do not think they'll be in the lineup. I know a lot of people think Daryl will, or Carol will, or Michonne, but I doubt it. The Spoiling Dead fans got this picture of a potential filming site for the Season 9 finale. If you look closely, you see fake snow, and also you see cones. There are 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cones. I believe there will be 8 victims. That could be potentially foreshadowing right there. Will Tara be one of them? I doubt it. I'll tell you why and why not in this video. But I think we will have 8 victims instead of 12. A lot of them will be from the kingdom or at the fair. And it's just my prediction and my guess that we will have 8 victims based on the 8 cones. I think we'll have 8 people die instead of 12 because we've already lost some big characters this season. And I believe we will have victims from each of the communities. Hilltop, definitely. If Oceanside's still around, possibly. The Junkyard's gone, the Sanctuary's gone, but I believe Hilltop, Oceanside, Alexandria, and the Kingdom for sure. Alexandria has some saviors, so I would assume we will have some saviors that are Alexandrians now will die, plus Kingdomers and Hilltoppers. But who will Alpha kill? There's been a rumor and a potential spoiler going around that is not confirmed, but Henry could be one of the victims. And I say Pikes because Alpha and the Whispers kill some of the people and then they put their heads on Pikes, hence a Pike prediction lineup. Alpha is going to be bad news for the survivors, and really all the Whispers are. Beta, Alpha, and all the Whispers. And I believe this is Alpha right here. But who's going to die in Season 9 is a big question. We've already lost Rick off the show. He's not killed, but he's off the show. We just lost Jesus, Jadis is gone, and so is Maggie. But who of these characters could potentially be gone? Ezekiel is definitely a candidate because of the comic connection. Remember when Glenn died in the lineup? They were like, no way, Glenn's not going to die. They did that in the comic. Well, they killed Glenn and Abraham. They could kill Ezekiel, just like in the comics, could happen for the show. He's connected with Carol, and Carol hasn't had the best luck in relationships, whether romantic or whatever, but ultimately Ezekiel could be one of the victims. I would rather have Ezekiel die than Jerry, but if it's between one of these two characters, I would put my money on Ezekiel because it happens in the comic and they could be sticking to that unless they want to mix it up. Again, the writers want to do whatever they want to do, but I personally would rather have Jerry on the show than Ezekiel. No hating on Kari Payton or Ezekiel, but I just love Jerry. Jerry's just for the show, and I think they want to keep those characters around a little bit longer. Ezekiel is a great character, but I just think his time could definitely be up. So I'm going to think Ezekiel over Jerry based on the comic connection. And again, I love Kari Payton and Ezekiel, and I'm not hating on him by any means. But if I got to pick one out of these two, I want Jerry on the show. Ezekiel can go, Carol can run the kingdom. And I just think it's more fitting for Ezekiel to die on the show versus Jerry. But there's going to be an impactful death, I would assume, from each of the communities. The Kingdom, Alexandria, and Hilltop for sure. Long live Jerry. Don't mess with Jerry. We love Jerry. Eat, drink, and be Jerry. Hopefully Cooper Andrews makes it to season 10. The other big choice is Rosita. Rosita could get her comic death as well. Again, I think Ezekiel, Rosita, maybe Alden, Luke, Tammy could definitely be victims. Rosita is connected with Father Gabriel, but I think Rosita's time could be up as well. They can mix it up and they can keep her around, but what's really left for her storyline? I know she's with Father Gabriel, but that could be the reason why she gets killed off. We'll just have to wait and see. And who is this guy looking at Jerry? Does Jerry know that he's a Whisperer, or is it some other group? Some people are telling me different stories and different theories, and they have this and that. But I just think this guy's a Whisperer, and the Whisperers won't be wearing their walker skins when they go to the fair. They'll look like regular people, but how did they get in? If a bald woman is walking around the fair at the Kingdom or Alexandria, she's going to stand out. You'd think something's up, but we'll see how it plays out on the show. But I think we're going to lose some Kingdomers, some Hilltoppers, and some Alexandrians for sure. But who's going to get killed is up for grabs. We just don't know yet. But I think Hilltop is going to be a big point of emphasis for this season and beyond. You know, the Whisperer War and just the battle with the Whisperers is going to be at Alexandria and Hilltop. But the Hilltop has a lot of people, so I think the Whisperers are a way to thin the herd. I don't think Tara's going to go because who's going to run Hilltop if Tara gets killed? I mean, it could be Enid and Alden and Diane or someone else like that, but Tara was definitely the leader. Even when Jesus was the actual leader, she was getting stuff done, and they hinted at that. I believe Tara would stay on to lead Hilltop. Diane could get killed. Cal could definitely get killed, and Tammy as well. But there has to be some big deaths, right? Well, I mean, a big character death. I think Cal could definitely be one chosen, Diane, and Tammy, especially because they highlighted these characters a little more at the early part of season 9. We saw Cal more than we ever saw him. I think that's a big tipping point. We're going to have to see more and more of these characters to see who's going to get chosen. So say it's Cal, Tammy, and Diane for right now. So that's 3, plus potentially Rosita and Ezekiel. But what about Henry? Like I told you before, the early potential spoilers, non-confirmed information is going around that Henry could be killed by Alpha and or put in the Pike lineup. So that could be another one. Also, one of these 3 characters could be chosen. They're kind of annoying teenagers that just don't care about anything, and they were highlighted a little bit. We might see them again in the back half of season 9. As for Magnus Group, I just feel like Luke is going to be the person chosen. I don't know. I just have a feeling that way, especially because I like him and a lot of people do. And again, the people chosen for the Pike lineup need to be big deaths. They need to be impactful. So Luke, maybe DJ, but it could be Connie or Kelly. I doubt Sadiq would be an option, but you never know. The writers can mix things up. Season 9 has been definitely mixed up with deaths and story arcs and jumping around the comic a little bit. But I could see Alden and Luke being picked. Definitely a possibility if they even make it to the lineup, but those are 2 definite choices for sure. I like both of these characters. They highlighted Alden with Enid, and again, if you're in a relationship, is not the best thing for your character in the world of The Walking Dead. Possibly Laura, DJ, maybe Jimmy, Rosita. I just think it makes sense. I think that Tammy is definitely an option. I said it before because they highlighted her. In the comics, Ken got killed. Tammy is the mother of Ken. Tammy and Earl are the parents of Ken, who got killed in the first episode of season 9. So why not Tammy, right? It could be Earl as well, but I think Tammy's going to go to the fair. She's going to help out at the fair, and she gets killed there. But it just makes sense that Tammy, Earl, one of those 2 get killed off. Alexandria is going to lose some people, I believe, too. They have a lot of people there. I think the fair and the Whisperers killing all these characters is going to drive everyone back together. And they've talked several times about the fair, so it's going to be a driving point this season, getting to that point at the end of season 9. But I think some of these characters in Alexandria are going to get killed off. I doubt Judith. I doubt Michonne. Maybe DJ, that's the savior right there behind Magna, and maybe Jimmy. And again, his real name is Jimmy on the show. He doesn't have a credited name, but he's a former savior that was with Regina, and now he's an Alexandrian. So I think we're going to potentially lose more of these characters. The subtle little hints here and there, who did we see more and more and more of? Laura, Jimmy, DJ. That's what they do. They have to make you know these characters, like these characters, and then kill these characters off. So you're like, oh man, I can't believe it. And that's what The Walking Dead does. Could Father Gabriel get killed off? For sure. Rosita or Father Gabriel, I think one of them too. Again, the writers can do what they want. They can remix stuff from the comics. If Oceanside is still around, and yes, I know, The teenagers asked about Oceanside with Henry, if they were all women there, but I just don't know how big the group is, if they're really involved, or they're connected with the communities anymore. So again, if Oceanside still has the big group, we don't know what happened with them and Michonne and this and that and Arat's death and in the time jump. But if Oceanside is around, I think we could get a major death from there. Maybe it's Rachel, maybe it's Cindy, maybe it's Beatrice. And I think it all comes down to what happened over those 6 years with Michonne, Oceanside, and the communities really. So if Oceanside's still around, I would say they're definitely in play. Another big theory that I think about is Sherry and Dwight. I doubt either of them would be involved with the fair, and that's really how Alpha gets her victims. She goes to the fair with the Whispers, they go in and kill people there. So Sherry and Dwight aren't connected with the communities, but they could be victims. Never say never, right? Again, the show is the show and the comic is the comic, and the writers can do whatever they want, and I really can't wait to find out. So I couldn't really give a definite prediction of 8 exact people or 12 exact people, but I think it's going to be somewhere between 8 to 12 victims. I don't think it's 12 just because we already lost so many characters, and to lose 12 characters is different than 8. I mean, it's 4 people, so we'll see what they do. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. But again, I think the victims will be impactful for the show in a terrible way, as we'll be losing them. Thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. And as always, tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.